Hello, in this tutorial I would like to use Snappy Hex Mesh to create a multi-region mesh, for example, for the study of conjugate heat transfer. I have three regions here, some fins, an heater, and the fluid that is flowing above the fins. So basically, if we want to use Snappy Hex Mesh, the most important thing is to create a geometry. And for Snappy Hex Mesh, normally the input file is an surface file or STL file, but it has to be prepared in a specific manner so that we can use it efficiently. Here in Salome, for example, I have the fins as well as the heater region and the fluid region as well. First thing that we need to do is to define a surface that contains all the outer boundaries of this configuration, and then we will select the interfaces separately and save them as STL files. So in Salome we can merge all these parts into one region by using this tool that is called partition tool, and I will name, for example, here fluid, heater and fins. Apply and close. The benefit of this step is that we will have partitions where the two regions overlap. So now we can define an outer surface that has all that that covers all the regions. So we can go here and create groups. We have now defined all the faces that make an outer boundary of this region. So this is going to be our starting base surface that we will use in Snappy Hex Mesh. We also need to define the interfaces. So I can go again and create group. So now we have all our surfaces, the interfaces and the outer boundaries. We need to export them as surface files or STL. So we can select all of them or we can save them separately. However, in this case, Salome will save each surface separately. So I will go ahead and select, for example, all of them and then file, export as STL, and I have a folder. I can save them here. So I have first inlet fluid, outlet fluid, then walls of the fluid, walls of the heater, base of the fins. Similarly, I can save these surfaces as well. So I have interface for heater, and I have interface for fluid. The next step is to combine these services so that it is easier to manipulate in Snappy Hex Mesh. So there are many ways. For example, here we can open these files and rename them. For example, here I can go open with text editor and I can add, for example, the name. So in this case it is interface the fluid, and I can save it. Similarly, I can go, for example, here base of the fins, so I can put here base and fins. I can save it here again, and then in the terminal, if I go, I can use cat command to combine them together. For example, I have interface fluid and base of the fins, and I want to save them as a new file. For example, interface base, and then I can visualize them with ParaView. So if I go here, open, and so we have two different colors here, which shows that there are two different surfaces. We can even check them by using OpenFOAM command, surface check, and the name of the file. And here we can see that we have two regions, but one is interface fluid and other is base of the fins. But there is an easier way to rename them, all of them together, and change. For example, we can use a very simple script where we mention the name of the final STL file, and then we can specify here the name we want to give to each of the phase. And basically this fluid heater fins will be the outer region that covers all the boundaries of all the regions. And I can just run here and I can check with surface check, and so we have inlet fluid region, outlet fluid region, walls for the fluid, walls for the heater, and the base of the fins. And we can also visualize in ParaView. So it must be a closed surface like this, and it should be the outer boundary of all the regions. So we have defined our main geometry, and we have also interfaces for fluid and fin regions, and also interface for the heater and the fins region. So next step is we just need these three files, and we will put them in constant tri-surface. And the next step, now we just want to set our Snappy Hex Mesh file, which is in system, and we only need to define two things here. So first we need, in the geometry section, we need to define which surfaces that we want to read, and if it has any regions we can rename them as well. For example, I want to keep the same names as I have in my surface file. And the other thing that we need is to also read the surfaces that we define for the interface of heater and interface of fluid. And in our case, we name them interface fluid and interface heater as well. This is the only thing that we need to add in the geometry section. And the next thing that we need to add is to define what is the refinement level for each surface. So in this case, the level 0 corresponds to the initial mesh, that is basically the mesh that we get from block mesh in this case, and level 2 is the decomposition into two smaller levels. For example, in this case this will be this size, and I want to use a finer level for example walls and the base of the fins, and the important thing here is just to define these interface regions, because we have set the default region to be fluid, and now we want to define regions that are fins and heater. And this can be done using this formulation where we define a phase zone, and this phase zone is coming from this surface that we define here, and using this phase zone we will make a new cell zone. And in this case, for example, the name of the cell zone is fins, and we want to specify whether this cell zone lies inside or outside of this zone, and then we need to specify a point inside the cell zone. So this point should be inside the fins region. And how can we check that? One way we can check that is we can run ParaView, and we can open the surface. For example, in this case we have interface fluids, and also so everything inside here is basically fins. And if I go here in information, I can see the X, Y and Z range. So we can specify anything that is in between here in this region. For example, Y value above 0 and X and Y between 20 or 28 in this case. Similarly, we can open walls of the heater, and we can see the information, and we have the information of the X, Y and Z ranges. And so here we can specify a point which lies in the fins region, and similarly for the other case, that is the heater region, we can define a point that is inside the heater region. So this will create two additional zones, fins and heater, and this level defines the minimum and maximum level. For example, here I can put 2 and 3, and also here 2 and 3. So the maximum level in this on this surface is 3 and minimum is 2. So these are the only things that we need to add. One, the parameters on geometry, and the others are the controls, how refined each region is. And in this case, the overall fluid region is at global level that we define by block mesh dict. And in the block mesh dict, only thing that we need to be careful is that the minimum and maximum ranges should be larger than the bounding box that we have for the whole region. For example, in this case, we can see the bounding box for whole region for X, Y, and Z, and we need to be a little bit larger than this bounding box so that this region is inside the main mesh. So it is pretty straightforward, a simple block mesh that will act as a background mesh. So what I have to do next is just simply to run block mesh here. So this is our base mesh, and then I can run Snappy Hex Mesh with overwrite, and with this small mesh it should not take a lot of time, and it is actually has found these cell zones as well. So here is our mesh, and we can use check mesh if it is fine, and it shows 3 cell zones, but we still need to split these mesh regions by using cell zones and then use overwrite. And now we can use ParaView to visualize each of these regions. So if I go ahead and select all, so we have this final mesh, and we can see each region separately as well. So we're using extract block, so I can see the heater region and as well as its 2 boundaries as well, the interface with the fins, and also I can select here, for example, fins, and I will go ahead and remove this, and if I show, only issue with Snappy Hex Mesh is that sometimes it cannot capture fully the geometry. So if you want to capture in greater detail the geometry, you can go here and increase your refinement level for surfaces. And we want to do that, we might want to run it in parallel. So if we want to run in parallel, we just need, for example, after block mesh, we can decompose the mesh, and then we can run in parallel snappy hex mesh, and then we can perform other operation. For example, if I want to rescale, and then we can use split mesh regions. So here I have decompose verdict, and I can decompose in 8 regions, and then I have to just run this all run script. We can increase our resolution here, for example 3 to 4. With a higher level of refinement, we can run the case in parallel. So if I go ahead and run that in parallel, so, and now I can see the log file. We can now visualize the mesh even in parallel by using ParaView, but here I will use decomposed case. And I will select all the regions, and I can see, for example, the fins, and now we have a much better representation of the surface and much larger number of cells. We can also see separately the interface between fluid and the fins. So we have defined the fluid region and the interfaces, but we might want to add, for example, a refinement region where we want to have a specific mesh size inside the volume mesh. For example, here I have defined a box where I want a different mesh size than my global level of 0 0 in the whole domain. So I can set here a box with these minimum and maximum bounds, and then I will go here in the refinement regions, and I will specify the box where we want to refine inside the box, and the level that I want in this case is 2. We can mesh again. Here is the mesh with refinement region defined by a box. I can transform the mesh from meters to millimeter, and I can split mesh regions by cell zones, and I want to overwrite. and I can visualize it with ParaView. And I can use clip here, and we have our refinement region that we specified in our mesh. And if we set up our case for conjugate heat transfer, that is described in another video, by setting proper boundary conditions, we can run CHT multi-region form, and we can see we have some reasonable results in that case as well. For more detail on setting up this tutorial, you can see the video in the description as well.